Evening, people. It's happening. Noni Madueke to Arsenal. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano has announced it. David Ornstein has confirmed it. It looks as if the majority of people's so-called reliable sources are keeping up and have suggested journalism-wise that this is going to happen. I'm lost for words. I don't quite understand what's happening here. And all I can say is the reason I cannot lose my head is because we're going to sign Rodrigo, Eze, and Gyökeres as well. That's the reason why. Because you cannot tell me that you're going to lump £50 million plus add-ons, by the way, for the Chelsea backup winger. Again, last year's Chelsea's backup winger in Raheem Sterling. This year's backup winger in Madueke. Season before that's £90 million flop in Havertz. Backup defensive midfielder that doesn't look to be similar to Caicedo in Jorginho. And then we can go past the Mikel Arteta reign, past Willian, to look at Cech and Lassana Diarra and Yossi Benayoun and players that I might have even forgot like Gallas and co. What is the fixation? What is the obsession? Is Arteta on drugs? Because this, for me, is not Andrea Berta. There's no way Andrea Berta walks in and goes, I like that Chelsea bloke who plays on the right wing. This is an Arteta signing again for me. Because it makes no sense. We've spent £120 million on Havertz and Noni Madueke. Chelsea are howling at us again. And it makes no sense to me. Now, before I bring Lee in, I'll say a couple of things. If this affects the business we do with Eze, Rodrigo, Gyökeres, sack them all. Sack them. Incompetence of the highest order. Bringing in a player that you think is a priority at Arsenal when he is not the priority that we need. So far, we brought in the backup goalkeeper. Meh, no problem. Backup defensive midfielder that's great business. Meh, does nothing for me. Zubimendi, I like that. I can get behind it. But it is a light replacement. It's not a huge upgrade. From what I can see. Willing to let it play out and see what happens. Noni Madueke. Is he an upgrade? Yes. He's an upgrade on Sterling. He's an upgrade on Reece Nelson. But that should cost about 15 or 20 million pounds. Not almost treble it. Because it ain't just double it. We're nearly talking 60 mils here. This is going to be add-ons going up to over 55. This is nothing short of a disgrace if this is one of the signings that we are expected to bring in to win the league. Now, I don't agree with the abuse he's receiving because this is nothing on Noni Madueke. You don't believe this is his fault. It's got nothing to do with Noni Madueke. He's out of favour at Chelsea and he's coming to Arsenal. Good move for him. In fact, it's a brilliant move for him. So don't believe that he's the one that we should be looking and pointing the finger at. I hope he absolutely smashes it. I hope he's better than Saka now. I hope he's better than Ethan. I hope he's better than Martinelli because he's going to be our player. But I tell you what, for a manager who is already under severe pressure, he's making it very, very hard for himself by putting himself under even more severe pressure, bringing in more Chelsea players that can't get in their first team. Anybody who thinks Chelsea players that can't get into the Chelsea first team are going to be good enough to win Arsenal the league are crazy and in cloud cuckoo land, should I say. So if we do not get Gyökeres on side of this, if we do not get another Eze, Rodrigo type player coming in, and our business is going to be a striker and Madueke, tap me out. Owners out, Berta can go, Arteta can go, a lot of them. So there's a lot of pressure now on this window. Ain't over yet, so we can't lose our heads. Got to keep the old powder dry and say, do you know what, let's just see it out. We'll assess it on the 1st of September. But if I don't see Rodrigo, and I don't see Eze, and I don't see Gyökeres, and I don't see Mosquera, but I see Noni Madueke, the club tell me everything that I already know. They've got zero ambition. Talk to me, Lee.
Right, listen, I think everybody's losing their nut about it in the moment. And the real reason is because we've not addressed the problem that we've got, you know what I mean, or we've had, right? I'm not worried about this not everybody losing their heads at the moment, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've got people messaging me now, you know what I mean, that are very, very supportive of Arteta. Can't believe what's going on, like, you know. Listen, why I'm annoyed about this signing, right, or I can't understand it, is because what we're desperate for, we're haggling and can't get over the line for £3 or £4 million. Now, we've walked away from a Sesko deal, which is something that we needed, right? Whether you like one or not, that's what Arteta wanted. We walked away from that because it was too much. We're haggling over a deal with Gyökeres, like, you know, and we've gone and just paid out 50 million, which could have gone on that deal for something that we don't need at this moment in time. That's what I can't get my head around, and I think it's timing. Now, listen, if tomorrow they come out and they sign, the Gyökeres deal has got to be done within the next couple of days now. The centre forward's got to be done because it's getting beyond the joke now. We are desperate for a search. I've just, you know, like, my friend Debbie, like, you know what I mean, has just messaged, like, and she's right what she's saying. Like, I said, look, you know, I'm mucking about with one of my other mates. I said, we've been waiting since January for a striker. We've actually been waiting for a striker since Jesus went down against Man United in the FA Cup, right? Yeah. She has replied, you've been waiting since bloody January. I've been waiting 3 years for a proper number 9, like, you know what I mean? So that is where the frustration's coming from. If Arsenal would have gone and got Gyökeres, signed, sealed, and on that plane next week for Singapore, none of this would be like this. So the timing of it, I think, is a disgrace from Arsenal, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And we've been told since January, like, you know, we're keeping our powder dry to get it done in the summer. Now, I'm going to look at it on a positive side. I've tried to say to you this, like, if they've got £50 million to spend on something that we don't really need, they must have a lot of money on the big uns, Dan. And if they haven't got it, I'm with you. Get rid of every single one of them at that football club. Because not only that, Dan, right, every one of us, that's me, you, who's ever got a season ticket, has just been hiked up. Every single one of us has had to pay extra for a season ticket this year, like, yeah. That, for me now, say they've earned 50 million out of it, like, you take that money off of me and get that and not what we need, you're a disgrace of a football club, right? But it's not worth losing your shit about it at the moment until that happens, Dan. And I don't care waiting for it in I'm not going to wait till September, like till September. That striker better be running out at Old Trafford, because if he's not, after you've just done what you've done, this Berta, whoever he is, he can get his arse out of this football club. The same as Arteta and the same as the Cronkies they can sell up. Now, I'm going to stick up for the Cronkies at that. They've given £50 million. They haven't got a clue about fullbacks and whatever. They ain't got a clue about anything, really. They've just given the money. So someone along the line has gone, there's the pen, I'm signing this off. Right? So someone signed that off. Right? Now, if you want to think it's Arteta, it's Arteta. If you want to think it's Berta, it's Berta. It's all of them. Right? All I'm saying now is, before you lose, anybody loses their crap about it and goes too mad about it, let's see what happens in the next few days. Get the centre forward over the line. I don't care now what happens. I don't care about anybody else. Like, what I'm wanting now is a centre forward signed. I don't care about anything else. Right? And I'm sure I'm angry or a little bit distressed because that hasn't happened. If it would have happened, I'm pretty sure everybody would be a little bit more cool about it. Listen, Alexander, you ain't far wrong here, mate. I'll tell you that, because my Chelsea mate has just texted me and just turned around and said, "You watch, we're going to go and sign Rodrigo and Gyökeres, and you can have Jackson." That's what they're taking the piss out of us at the moment. Just got it now. I know,
Wouldn't surprise me, bro.
It wouldn't surprise me if Jackson's the next one. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, as I said on AFTV today, like, you know what I mean? The Arsenal Forever song's gone, mate. The liquidator's coming in. I'm telling you, like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Or blue is the colour. The away kit is all blue. Do you know what I mean? Just to make it look, make them all feel at home. Listen, I'm not. We needed a backup for Saka. There's no two ways about that, Dan. Let's get that out.
Yeah.
Right. So that ain't a bad deal if that's the case. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that ain't. I'm not got a problem with that. Right. But if it affects other areas, I'll tell you, this club better not come out with two things, Dan. Right. If they don't address it and they say they're pulling out, they can't afford it and whatever, like, that excuse is gone. Right, that excuse is gone now because of what you've done with this one here. So I don't want to see us not getting deals over the line now for financial things like that. I expect to see a forward come in and a wide left player coming into this club. Trossard's going to go, I think, now, and it looks like he's going to be a replacement for Trossard, like, yeah. That's what everybody's going to say. And he can back up the positions, right? And the second thing happens is that Wanyeri don't go the other way. That is the other thing now, like, yeah. I mean, if that happens, sack the lot of them. Sack the lot of them. But at this moment in time, that we are fans and we're just a little bit unhappy about it at the moment, but we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's in the pipeline. Let's wait and see what's in the pipeline first. But the thing is a disgrace at this moment in time, Dan, is that we have not got a forward in and we've done this deal. The priority is the forward. That is a disgrace on a whole level of things, is that we've let, for first and foremost, 5 months of a season we've got. And at this moment, Dan, we're going into a tour. We've gone off to Spain, but we're going into like a high-profile, friendly tour, right? One injury away from Mourinho being a centre forward again. That in itself is not acceptable. And you're buying backup wide players for 50 million, like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. That is where it's wrong. And that is why everybody's a little bit peeved with it. The other side of it is, he's done absolutely nothing for Chelsea in 2 years, right? Just like Vieira's done nothing for us for 2 years. And they've got doubled their money. How have they doubled their money? That is another thing that is, I don't think everybody's, we could have gone and got the player from Bournemouth for the same sort of money, Dan. What's his name? Semenyo for the same sort of money. That is my beef on this. I've got to say, is my beefing on a massive scale, like, you know what I mean? Massive scale.
For me, this is the equivalent of telling your. This is the equivalent of going to build your house and putting the nice brand new Porsche 911 on the drive. You got no house yet. This is what we're doing. We're sticking with the priority of let's get this guy in. Now, a lot of people will be listening to this going, what are you losing your heads for? Winter's not over. Gyökeres coming in. Rodrigo we're getting. Eze's done. It's all hunky-dory. But that ain't the case as things stand. That could be come 1st of September. That could be. Absolutely. Cool. But let's be real. We have got we got our priorities wrong, right? And that's why
that is the issue.
That is what it is. The priorities is wrong. Yeah? You're basically getting a flash car in your driveway before you built your house yet. Do you know what I mean? You ain't got a house to live in. Now you've got to live in your car. That's what we're doing. We're going for that first. Why? Yeah, build your foundation, get your house, get this in order first, then get your nice flash car. We've gone about it the wrong way. And if you're serious and telling me, and this might be bollocks, right? But if you're seriously telling me that we can't afford another 5 or 10 million to get Gyökeres, and we're just lumping down 50 on Madueke, someone's telling Porky Pies, Lee, yeah? If that's the truth. Because you can't tell me that if you've got over 50 mil, that you're going to lump on Noni Madueke, that you cannot afford to go 10, 15 mil more to get Gyökeres across the line. So let's be real, yeah? Everybody is losing their heads. Some of it is over the top. Some of it is damn right disgusting in terms of the abuse that he's receiving. But the people that are getting concerned, I'm not going to tell them not to. I'm not going to tell them not to be patient. I'm not going to tell them, look, the evidence is clear. Look at what we did in January. It all worked out well. Look at the summer before. It all worked out well. Look at the January before that. It all worked out well. 3 shit transfer windows. That's what we've had. So I can't sit there and tell anybody, yeah, that they should not be getting a little bit concerned if that's how they feel. Who am I to say how people feel? If people feel great about this, also you support the club how you want. But forgive me for not getting excited about getting Noni Madueke for 50 million, Norgard, Kepa, through the door as backups. That for me is not something that I'm excited about. The only player so far I can say, do you know what? I can see where we're going with that is Zubimendi. He walks into the first team at least. The others, backups. Eze has to come in. Rodrigo has to come in now. Not has to. No excuses. Got to. And up top, we've got to get Gyökeres. So if those 3 signings happen, Lee, and we get Mosquera, Zubimendi, Norgard, Kepa on top of that, 8 players in, let's go. We're ready. But are we going to? Because if we ain't got money for Gyökeres, how are we getting money for Rodrigo and Eze? Because we're only making about 60 or 70 million out of the players we're selling from what we did yesterday. Zinchenko's and Vieira's that are going for 10 and 15 mil and all this crud. We're going to make about 70 million euros and lump that towards Eze. How do we get the money for Rodrigo then if we can't afford to go more than 5 or 10 million to Gyökeres? It's all crap. It's all waffle. So get the job done. I want these players coming in now. And if they don't come in, we know what the issue is. They're incompetent, aren't they? They're clueless. They're rubbish. But I'll hold judgment to that until it shuts. And I will look at those signings and I will say we're ready or I will say we're not ready. And it will be assessed then because I tell you what, bruv, if we are not ready, it's long for Arteta. Long season. Nasty, horrible, extremely painful season for Mikel in the first 5-6 games if we ain't ready because 3-4 of them get lost and we're out already of everything and everyone's down and dusted. So this is how important this window is my point, right?
Yeah, listen, they're on a 5-day thing in Portugal, in Spain now, like, yeah. As my mate Ryan just texted and said, look, you know, this could happen. Like, Gyökeres could be, you know, over in Spain, quick, you know what I mean, have a medical there from Portugal or wherever it ain't too far. It can be easily done and dusted within a day or so. Like, you know, I will be. I can't stress enough. I think that will be done within the next couple of days. Now they can't announce that and then not not get Gyökeres or get some forwarding of some ilk in the next day. Like, you know, for me now, I don't want to see all this negotiating with Eze. You know what the deal is? It's 68 million. No need to be skinflint, and that's what it's worth. Do you know what? And that's what he is worth, 68 million. Do you know why that's what he's worth, Dan? Because that's what they say he's worth, right? And there's a release clause. Maybe at the end of the day, it could even be more, but there's a release clause of 68 million. There's the price. You go and do it. You know what I mean? Because you've not haggled or anything with this one. You've gone and got it done like, as quickly as anything. So you can go and do that. So that's got to be done within the next day or so. And I expect now that forward and that wide player. So I'm going to say it now. I expect Gyökeres and Eze to be done by this time next week. If they're not, there's big issues for me now. Like, there's no excuses for me now. More like, you know what I mean? Just get these things done now. You know what I mean?
Well, you say that, just get these things done. We've seen our North London rivals today get things done. That's for sure, because they've signed two brilliant players on Kudus and Gibbs White for very similar fees for what we've just signed for Madueke. And I'll tell you what, Gibbs White and Kudus are both going to start for them. Now, people will say, well, that's why they've gone Tottenham, because they're going to get first-team football. I appreciate that. I appreciate they're going to probably play a lot more than they would at Arsenal. But why are we spending this much money if they're not going to start? Why are we spending this much money for someone who's going to sit on the bench when we could have got what they're spending for someone who's going to start for them? This is not a good signing. I'm sorry, this is not a good signing. I'm sorry, I can't get behind it.
You can say to Kudus whatever you want. Like, you can go to Arsenal, you can come to Arsenal and be a backup to Saka, or you can go to Spurs and play week in, week out. What's he going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I understand what you're saying.
But do you not get my point? They should have gone, right, Madueke, we'll try and get him. He would be happy to sit on the bench at Arsenal. What would you like? We'd like 50 millions with add-ons. Oh, okay, we'll move on. Cheers. See you later. That's what we should have done. Not all right then. Yeah. We'll give you 50.
I agree with that. Like, we've paid over the odds, and but we're not prepared to pay over the odds. And like, the people sticking up for the club are going, oh well, we can't overpay. We can't overpay for Gyökeres, like, you know what I mean, or Sesko. No, that, you know. But then on the other hand, look, you know, let's back the deal. It's a great deal that we've signed him and all that, like, you know. Now listen, at the end of the day, we're going to sell Trossard now for what, 20, 30 million. He's a younger version, you know. I mean, I don't. Listen, Dan. There's no way on this God's earth I can justify this signing. I can't. I can't. I don't know if anybody can. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you what. If Mikel took me out for dinner tomorrow and sat me down for an hour and buy me champagne and, like, you know what I mean, he would not convince me that this is the right deal for Arsenal Football Club. I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean? I just don't understand this deal at this moment in time. That is my thing.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, like,
I'm with you. I'm with you. That's important to add at the end. I don't understand the transfer, right? I wouldn't have gone for it. At this moment in time, it looks rather silly. We're hearing, and we'll come on to it in a minute, that Trossard might be going to Fenerbahce. So there's going to be one in, one out again. Yeah. I need to see Victor Gyökeres in the next couple of days as an Arsenal player to keep our heads. I need to see Eze following in the same footsteps. These two players come in and we go all out for Rodrigo. Yeah, we get the backup defender Mosquera within the next few weeks, whenever that is, because that's not a priority, but we obviously need him. I'll sit here with you and I'll say, do you know what? They put us through it. But what? I tell you what, they got it right in the end. That's what I'll say. But they all have to come in, Lee. None of this, we not Madueke and Gyökeres, but couldn't afford the other two because he was quite a lot.
No, I don't want to hear that, Dan. That excuse is gone now. By doing what you've done today, that excuse is gone, right? There's no excuse now. You get the players that you want, what you want in. Now, Dan, if he goes and gets Eze, right, this is Arteta I'm talking about now. If he goes and gets Eze and he goes and gets Gyökeres, right, and he feel that he's got enough, it's on him. It's on him now. You know what I mean? Like, there's no excuses of Arteta. If he don't win the league next season, I'm going to be turning around and going, it's because he didn't have his players. We had injuries and all that. You had the opportunity from this window to sort out exactly what you needed because you've not spent a penny in the last 3 transfer windows, right? We made a profit in the summer, right? We didn't spend in January, right? Okay. And we didn't spend in the January before. Right, so in 3 main transfer windows, you've not spent a penny. Right, this is the one you line all your ducks up and you get it right and you go for the title, right? So at the end of it now, if you haven't got if Rodrigo doesn't come to this football club, it's not through financial reasons, Dan. Can we get that right? It's because Arteta doesn't want him. If a centre forward does not come through this door, that is not through financial reason. It's because Arteta doesn't want it, right? Sesko now is back on the radar as far as I'm concerned. Get back. If that's the one you want, you go and get it for 90 million euros. Because you have gone and got something that we don't need for something well over the top. Now, I don't care what anybody says about this deal, Dan, right? I don't care about anything. If we're just looking at it now and it was £25 million, I think, yeah, okay, that's not a bad deal, right? It's not ideal. We've let, let's be honest, we've let the Norgard one go a little bit because it's a cheap option, really, at the end of the day. We've let that one go. If we'd have paid, do you think like everybody would be happy if we'd paid 40, 50 million for Norgard? No. Right? It is the price that's I think, and the price and the timing that's got everybody peeved. Now, we've got mates and we've got people that we know that, at this moment in time have still got their Mikel's, what's the word? I don't want to swear, but like, up there Jaxies, right? I'll put it that way, like, yeah. And they're not saying nothing, like, you know what I mean? They're
Silence for this signing, by the way.
Silence. They're not going to say anything, right? And I get that, right? Even their silence is there at this moment in time, like, you know what I mean? What I will say is, let's hope that let's just hope. No, it's not hope. Let's just see what they do over the next couple of days before everybody loses what they've got to do. And this moment in time, I'm just baffled about it, right? And I'm going to tell you something now. I don't care about this Berta, right? For me, everybody's saying he's great and all that. Like, at this moment, for me, I'd rather have Win the dog sorting out our transfers. That's how I feel about him at the moment, right? He's got 2 days to sort himself out, like, you know. Listen, the Arteta out brigade are having a field day on this, right? It's up to him there as well, like, you know what I mean? Listen, if Arsenal don't win their first few games and we missing chance after chance and all that, the people will, I'm on the fence, Dan. I know you're not so much, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, at the end of the day, right?
I've wanted the manager out for a long time, you know.
I'm not on that, but I will be if things don't go well this season. I have to say.
Well, can I ask you a serious question? And I want anybody in this chat to please tell me, because I do not know the answer. Who is responsible with the most powerful voice at this football club in this transfer market? One name, please. Andrea Berta, Mikel Arteta. Because these signings are not Andrea Berta. Let me tell you this. Andrea Berta did not come into Arsenal and say, I want Kepa, Norgard, Madueke, Zubamendi. The only one he has got any involvement in at the moment is Gyökeres, because he steered us away from Sesko to get Gyökeres. That is the only thing he's done so far. Everything else has been Arteta. So we don't need a sporting director. Just let Mikel do it. What's the point?
You've got to have someone that's got to sort out the deals and all that. Like. But Mikel Arteta is the one, Dan. Listen, let's get this right.
He's the most important voice at the club, Mikel Arteta. He is
right.
It's wrong.
Mikel Arteta wanted Aubameyang out of this football club. It cost this club hundreds, I don't know how, 50 million. It cost us a lot of money, Dan, right? Everybody in the club backed it. Goal scoring, proper goal scorer, let go for nothing. right? If that ain't clout, what is clout? Nothing we could do about it. No one turned around. You know, these people go around about, oh, it's good business, what we've just done and all that. Like, was that good business? When someone turns around you and say, oh, it's good business, was the Aubameyang thing good business? Was that good business on a business scale to let a prime goal scorer go for nothing? Was that good business? But it was backed by the manager. So don't kid yourself and say, hey, this is all on Arteta right now. He's the one that signs it off. And at the end of the day, it's him now that goes there. And I'll tell you what, like, there's a little song that I'm going to sing now, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it could well come out in a few years, in a few months' time. We've got Super Mikel Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. And the next song will be, Does He Fuck? That's what they'll be singing like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. That will be sung in the Emirates. If things don't go, we've got Super Mikel Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. Does he fuck? That's what they'll be singing like, you know what I mean?
It's so true, man.
But, of course, it's all on him. I'm only joking, like, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, he will be under unbelievable pressure for this, like, you know what I mean? And for me, it is down on him, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, how can I say it? Even if you was in a semi-professional or something like that, you get offered a player, the manager has the final say, Dan. I don't know if football's changed too much from that. Like, you either say yes or no. You know, I've got a little message in here, like, you know, we'll end up with Rashford.
Oh,
we're going to get, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know, I listen, we can laugh and joke about it all this moment in time. We have got to get a manager. We've got to get a striker in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
for those, just one sec. For those who are wondering whether it was a Berta or an Arteta signing, it's an Arteta signing. It's just been confirmed by Romano that Arteta said yes. Madueke's exclusive story: Arsenal and Chelsea exchanged documents on Friday. The transfer fee agreed is 52 million. Arteta has said yes to Madueke as a key target weeks ago. Medical scheduled soon. Done. Mikel Arteta wanted him. Mikel Arteta got him. So this guy has got the most powerful voice at the club, Lee, still. So I'm sorry, if this does not work out, it is on the Cronkies. Because you can stick up and say they put the money up, Lee. You can say that, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is where I disagree with what you said about the Cronkies. They are allowing that money that they're plucking up to be worked and spent by idiots and incompetents. And that goes right the way back to the Sven Mislintat days, to the Rausan Leahy days, to the 72 million on Pepe's, right the way through forward to the 865 and 290k a week for Havertz. And now 52 million on Madueke. 52 million pounds on Madueke. Boy. Wow.
I'm just going through Twitter, right? And I don't believe this from someone that's turned around and said, like, the real Arsenal fans are happy with this signing. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? The real Arsenal fans
Embarrassing.
are happy with this signing. I don't think. I like to think that I'm a real Arsenal fan.
What makes people a real Arsenal fan then? What does that mean? What does a real Arsenal fan mean? Does it mean that you support from afar, that you go to every game, that you buy every shirt, that you've been going since the 60s, that you've been going since the 90s? What does a real Arsenal fan mean? Can you be a real Arsenal? I'd love to know.
I genuinely think that the most loyal Arsenal fan, right, who goes home and away and everything like that, would be a little bit, yeah, I back it. I get that. And, you know what I mean? But I'm not happy with the timing of it, or we haven't got a striker in there. No one, I don't think like you can turn around and any fan can genuinely say, you know what I mean, like real Arsenal fan, you know what I mean, like the real Arsenal fans are happy with this signing. That is an insult. You know what I mean? Like for me,
I can't. I'm not a real Arsenal fan because I'm not happy with that signing. So obviously, I'm not a real Arsenal fan. I just I do not understand a
I will
large
give a
section of
couple
this
of
fan base.
a lot. There was a lot of meltdown when Aaron Ramsdale signed for Arsenal, not because of the like what we spending 30 million on a backup, which is going to affect us in the long run. In it, blah 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 blah. So I get that, there's a little bit of apprehension about all of this thing. We might be Aaron Ramsdale, I think, proved to be a success, right? So this world could be a success and all that, like, you know what I mean? And
Well, it has to be, Lee. I'm sorry, not this. It might be
I
a
don't see,
success. It has to
I'm
be.
saying,
It has to be now.
yeah, but how can it be right? That's my problem with this, Dan. Right? How can this be a success?
We've got to get all three. Eze, Rodrigo, Gyökeres on top of this now.
Right,
That's
yeah. So that's the success. But what I'm talking about this signing, and I don't mean this nastily to the player. How can he be a success when he's coming in as a backup? How do you find? How are we going to define success for this player?
Oh, for Madueke.
Yeah, how is that going to be a success? Do you see what I'm saying? Putting £50 million down in it. How is he going to be a success unless he's coming in to take Saka's place or Martinelli's place, or he's coming in as a front forward and he's going to score banging 40 goals for us? Well, that ain't going to happen, is he? Like, he's not going to replace Saka. He ain't as good as Martinelli. So what I'm trying to say is he's never going to be a success because he's a backup. Like, for instance, Jorginho will go down as not one of our brilliant players, Dan, you know what I mean, over the years and all. But I think he was a success at Arsenal for what he'd done. But he was in his 30s and was a £12 million signing. I don't see how 50 million's going to be successful. Great point from John in there. We win trophies. That's probably it. We win a cup, and we win trophies. That's it. I suppose for this to be a success, we've got to win the league.
Well, we've got to win a trophy. That's the only way I measure success, bruv. That is the only way I measure success.
You know, like trophies, or we get in the other players that we need, like, you know what I mean?
Well, let me just take a look at the Arsenal website very quickly because I just want to see what's happening on the Arsenal website. We'll share it on the screen. Oh, hang on a minute. What am I seeing there? That cannot be more merch. Another training kit pops up before you can click on anything else. There is more merch. Another training shirt for us all to buy. Let's get down the shops and let's get it in. Now that they've signed Madueke, I'm going to get this amazing looking orange, yellow, blue and sky blue training kit that looks like something my niece could have drawn all over better. Let's go and get this and everything will be hunky-dory. Then, Lee Judges, we might have enough money for Victor Gyökeres to come to Arsenal. It's absolute joke, this, I tell you. How many more pieces of merch do we have to see before we kick a ball now? And people will be buying this, by the way. Oh, Numa, let's get down it quick. Oh, look at Miles, look at that lovely tracksuit. Let's get another bit. We are an absolute shambles of a club right now. This is all wrong. It's all backwards, bruv. I'm getting sick of it, man.
I'm not being horrible. I'm just having a look at it. Like, it is horrendous as well.
It's horrific. It's absolute horrific, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, like, I'm glad it is because, like, I ain't buying it. Like, I'm not wasting my money on that. And there's a coat on there that, you know, even there's another top down there, like, it's called Urban purist T-shirt, like, you know what I mean? It's got more colours than a rainbow. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like,
it's a joke, mate. I mean, look at this here. Look, this is quite incredible. Let me share this. I've just clicked on it, right? Let's have a look what they're actually
put up
trying to
the
sell
coat,
us here.
Dan. Put up the coat.
Let's look at what they're trying to sell us here. Who the hell is wearing one of these things here? I mean, Cecil probably will, bless him.
Yeah,
But
put up the coat. Just put up the coat.
where is the coat? Where is it?
Keep going.
Oh, not got it yet. Is that it there? Oh,
Look at that.
it's only 100 quid, Lee.
10% off if you remember. And look at the shorts to go with it. Like, I'll tell you, come on, come on.
That is vile. Anybody buying this, I tell you what, needs to get their head tested. Let me tell you that right now. Let me go back. What else are they trying to sell us, this club? More stuff, more merch, more shit. Yeah, okay.
What numbers are you going to get, by the way? 10 or 14?
I bet he's number 14.
No, they won't.
Eze will be 10 if he comes, because that's his number at Palace. Madueke will be 14. And Gyökeres, I think, will be number 9. And I think he'll take that off of Jesus, who's apparently going to be fit enough to sell. What I heard today. He's fit. Well, he's getting fit. So I think that they'll go with that. So that's what I'll say. Look, they've got to do some super chats here, leagues. They're all flying in. So let's get this and respect the chat. Big up to everyone that's here. Hit the like button. We've got well over 3,000 people in the house, which is absolutely mad. So big up to all of you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Francis, so-called Arsenal fans, I support Noni as a fan. And you know what? That's what people will do now. They'll get behind him, and hopefully he turns into a superstar. But I think we'll be open there a lot. Adichie the Gooner says, Dan, the owners are the real problem. They allow Arteta to exist at the club. Kroenke's out. Should be the only solution. Correct. Big up to you. Agree with every word. Low wages, happy to sit on the bench and left-footed. Is that what it's come to get a player in at Arsenal? He's low wages, he's happy to sit on the bench and he's left-footed. £52 million. God, big up to the super chat, bro. Kahir says, would be 10 million cheaper on deadline day. Stupid. It just makes no sense. This is the one that I wouldn't mind coming in deadline day. If you've got that 50 million spare and then there's a winger available, go get him. Because what we've done, which people have completely missed, by the way, and overlooked, we've just funded Chelsea to go and get their winger for £52 million more. Go and take your pick. Go get Rodrigo. Go get Eze, maybe. Do you know who they're going to get? I can tell you they're going to get the player you want. From Villa. That's who they want. Morgan Rogers. And we've just allowed them to go and get Rogers.
I'll be fuming if that happens.
Well done, Arsenal. You go and get Rogers. We'll take your Noni Madueke off you. Canadian Gooner says, when does money laundering come into the question? I don't even understand anymore what's going on with this FFP, PSR, money. God knows what's happening with money. I ain't talking about it, if I'm honest. Big up, man. Big up, DJ says, 2013 summer we were linked to Cavani and Higuain. And in the end, we got Sonogo. You guys remember, Arteta ain't the real problem. Do you know what? I totally agree that he is not the only problem at the club because this has been going on for years. Adichie says, Steve, don't discount Kroenke's yet. They ain't billionaires because they have no idea. Something's really fishy between the two Americans. Do you know what? Something needs to be investigated about Arsenal and Chelsea. I'll tell you this now. Darren L says, Noni's a European champion with Club World Cup experience. Thoughts on Arsenal inquiring about Jackson? If that's true, tap me out. I'll tell you that now. Becca says, of all the 6 forwards we've signed since Arteta joined, 4 have been from Chelsea. Wow. That's embarrassing, isn't it? It's right. Willian, Sterling, Havertz and Madueke. Oh, my God. That's a shambles, man. You don't even, when you put it like that, that is actually criminal. That's a sackable offence on its own for Mikel, isn't it? That we've had 6 forwards and 4 of them
Is that an issue then? Let's put that out there. Is that an issue that he's coming from Chelsea then? Is that, say if he would have come from...
Yeah, because we're not learning, are we? We're not learning.
PSV,
we're going back to their sloppy seconds again, aren't we?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If we're signed him from PSV or...
If we were signing him from PSV at 28 million like they did, I don't think anyone would be screaming about it, Lee. But we're spending £52 million on yet another Chelsea squad player to fund them to go and get Morgan Rogers. That, to me, ain't good enough. I'm
Where are you
sorry.
getting this Morgan Rogers thing from?
That's the one they want. I've been seeing it today in the chat. The Chelsea boys are all over it. They're going, we're getting Rodgers, we're getting Rodgers. That's what the Twitter is saying. So, and Matt and Villa need to sell because they're in this
Right.
FFP.
Well, if Rogers comes available, Arsenal need to be in for him.
I agree. But will we? We'll have to wait and see.
At the end of the day, you can't have Eze and you can't have Rogers, so you got to have one or the other.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I'd honestly, there's a lot of players out there. This is the thing. Adichie also says we used to laugh at Bowley buying so many players. In the last 2 years, we've bought 130 million worth of those. Arsenal sugar daddy at Chelsea. Oh, honestly this link with Arsenal and Chelsea, it needs to stop. See, it's actually becoming an obsession and embarrassing. Becker also says 80 million pounds from the Club World Cup so far. Is that what they've made? Oh, they have, they just made 80 million pounds to go to the final, haven't they? So they've got 80 million plus his 50. They're going to get Rodgers with that, mate. Definitely. 57 million from Madueke and Kepa, 25 million for Petrovic, and 12 million for bloody Humphreys. 174 million in the bank for Chelsea soon, with tons of players to still sell. This is the business.
Well, I agree with that. I think because it's Chelsea, we shouldn't be helping them out. We should be we've given them an helping hand there, really, haven't we? And I think that's where the problem is.
That's wrong. That's why people are getting the ump, and I get it. I understand why. Michael says serious clubs buy one backup player every now and again. Unserious clubs pay 50 and 5 and 10 for 3 backup players before improving the 2 positions we truly need to. Where's Eze, Rodrigo and Gyökeres? Disgraceful. I feel those sentiments massively. I honestly do. And if we do not get those 3 players on top of this, sorry, I'm not happy. Bikash Day means Arsenal's the best of Gatlies in their own fans. Adichie says some big fan accounts on X have already hyped for Madueke. His fan base, we deserve to be trophyless. If he puts Arsenal's shirt, I'll back him, BS. Also, Oak9X says, you've taken our best winger, gutted, £52 million, bargain. Obviously, a lot of sarcasm there. A lot of Chelsea fans, Lee, are absolutely laughing, by the way. My hate for Arteta just increased to a new level. He-Man says, lads, I'm fuming. Let's just get Jackson tomorrow. F this. Adichie says, Dan Stan Kroenke's the most important voice at the club and he ain't unaware who we spend £50 million on. I think Josh Kroenke and Arteta together have the most powerful 2 voices at the club. That's what I think. Shayar says, unhappy in this moment in time. I agree. Do you guys really think Madueke's backup for 52 mil or the backup word is just a smokescreen? Let me ask you that then. Let's stop there for a minute. We've got a few more to read out, but let me ask you this one. Because a lot of people are telling me, that he's going to come and play left wing and start left wing. Do you think he's doing that? He don't play there for Chelsea.
Well, no, I think with Arteta, he does like players.
Big up to Matisse, by the way. He must be buzzing. Matisse, I'll tell you, bro. You must be buzzing on this one. I'll make you a mod, man. I can't believe you're not a mod already. But yeah. Sorry, Lee. Go on, bro. Make sure you follow Matisse, people.
I think that Arteta does like players that can play in a couple of positions and all that. And I think that, that's one of the good things that I think that, one of the things that he'd do. He can back up a couple of positions. He's an England international. He's not a bad player. Let's get this right. He caused us a few problems a couple of years ago, I remember, at the Emirates. He's not a bad player. But what we're saying is, I don't see him playing wide left. I see him being like, we can leave Saka out one game here and whatever. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. We have got to protect Saka a little bit, you know what I mean? So I see him playing wide right. The problem that I see now is that where you're going to be playing Nwaneri. Listen, it might be that Nwaneri goes out on loan. I said this yesterday, you know what I mean? This could happen, you know what I mean? It could go to Crystal Palace.
Right, let me come back on that very quickly. That would be wrong as well. And I'll tell you why that would be wrong. Because Madueke is not better than Ethan Nwaneri.
No, he ain't. But was any of the centre-halves better than Saliba?
No, good point.
But but Saliba needed to get out on loan, get some games under his belt, and when he come back, he was ready. Listen, people are saying that I'm not into. Listen, I cannot see any positives from this signing, guys. I'm trying to. You know what I mean? Like what we're seeing and all that. It does not make any sense to me. I'm not trying to justify it or anything like, you know what I mean? I'm baffled by it. I'd like to see like the journalists tell me what they think why it's a great signing. I don't think any journalist has come out and said that it's great. You know what I mean? Like I even see Tom Canton putting in a tweet going like, you know, he's going to have to wait until the end of this transfer window before he comments on this signing. I think Harry said exactly the same thing. Harry Simi, I think, has said the same thing.
And they're extremely positive, mate. They're extremely positive.
They are. There's nothing wrong with that. They want to be positive and everything like that. But
no. But my point is, they're positive and they're even questioning what's going on.
Yeah, because I don't think you can really, you know, I'd like to think I know a little bit about football, but I cannot explain or justify this signing, and it's got nothing to do with the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know if he's going to be. Well, I don't know if he's going to be a good player for us, or he's not going to be a good player for us. Who knows? I don't really know. You know, I just feel a little bit.
I'm looking at
baffled by it.
This is unbelievable what I've just read here on Twitter with this geezer. I'm not going to read this geezer's name out just in case he don't want to be shouted on screen, but I'm just going to read out what I'm not going to share it, right? I'm just going to read out what this tweet says. Build Andrea Berta a statue outside the Emirates. Huh? Sorry? Kepa, tick. Zubamendi, tick. Norgard, tick. Madueke, tick. Gyökeres, hourglass. Mosquera, hourglass. Rodrigo, hourglass. Eze, hourglass. Build Andrea Berta a statue outside
Listen,
the
if
Emirates.
they got all them in, Dan, that would be an unbelievable window. Unbelievable window.
Of course
if
it
that
would.
happens.
You know, that's why he's trolling, by the way.
Losing our stuff at the moment because that could actually happen.
If it does happen, fair play. You won't hear any complaining from me.
Listen, if Isaac comes up, we're in for him, haven't we? We've got the money.
Yeah.
Any player comes up now, we've got the money. Because if you can put £50 million down for that, you can put down anything. You know, someone said to me, we're skint because we're still paying off Declan Rice. You know, this is what they're trying to make excuse. There's no excuses you can make for this club no more. There's no excuses left. You know what I mean? Like, they've basically, like, told you they've got the money. I'll tell you something else what they're saying is that we've got the money, but we're not going to be taking the mickey out of unless it's Chelsea.
Well, the Rodrigo news, just quickly, not that there's any breaking news, but it looks as if there's a few reports, and I'll just read them out, won't share them. There's a few reports suggesting that Rodrigo could be available for a €100 million package, which is about £84 million. Arsenal and two other top European clubs want the player. There's also suggestions that if it is Premier League clubs, Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City all want him. And I've got to say it, I think you'll add Chelsea to that as well. Whether he wants to go Chelsea is another question. There's also just in reports a few hours ago, I don't know how good this report is, suggesting that he wants to move to the Premier League, Manchester City, top choice, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, PSG also interested. City fans, do you want Rodrigo? So they're suggesting that City are now favourites. See Martin in the chat earlier. Look, Manchester City and Liverpool, he's going to pick one of them over Arsenal. Let's just say it how it is. I accept that they win stuff and we don't, right? So I accept he's probably going to be looking at that. We can only really attract him with selling the project. You know, come over to London and help us get our trophy, help us get our Premier League, help us get our Champions League, that kind of stuff. And we're up against the Liverpool and City and a Bayern and a PSG who are saying, well, we'll win stuff every year, mate, so come with us. So it's very, very, very hard to predict where Rodrigo will go. I don't think Arsenal will be first on that list, Lee. I've got to be honest with you. I've got to hold my hands up and just say that's the way it is. If it's the Arsenal of 2004, then City aren't even have a chance of it. And if I'm honest with you, neither would Liverpool. But we ain't the Arsenal of 2004. We're the Arsenal of 2024-25. And we're in a position now where we have to try to fight with City and Liverpool to get Rodrigo, because this is the only way that can save our season alongside Gyökeres and Eze. For me, even Eze and Madueke alongside Gyökeres is good, but it ain't like wow. I wouldn't go wow. Oh my, we got Eze and Madueke. I wouldn't do that. Rodrigo, now we're talking. Yeah, now we are talking. That is the sort of player that lifts. That's why everybody wants. How many of these teams? Let's just say it how it is. I want both of them. I want Eze and Rodrigo. But anyone who's saying who do you want, Eze or Rodrigo? Manchester City, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, and PSG don't all want Eze. They all want Rodrigo. So clearly, Rodrigo is the one that everybody wants. So that's the one we've got to try and get. And we've got to do it alongside Eze. Don't get me wrong. But if we only get one, you take the one that walks into your first team. Because trust me, I speak to D a lot, and he says, I hope you get Eze and play him left wing. It'll be hilarious. He can't do it. So I want to go and see a winger coming in, and Eze comes in centrally. Done. That's what needs to happen now. So, unfortunately, Arsenal have put themselves in a position, for me anyway, as a fan, saying, right, go get Gyökeres. Madueke is coming in. That's back up for Saka. Eze comes in, that's back up for Odegaard. And Rodrigo comes in, you sell Trossard and Martinelli's the backup for Rodrigo. Done. Arsenal are ready. Let's go. That's what's got to happen for me now this summer, judges.
I can't argue that, but we're not going to get Rodrigo. Right, let's put that out of the way. That's not happening. We'll get Eze and we'll get Gyökeres. And if we get them two, are you saying that you're not going to be happy?
I would be happy, yeah. But I wouldn't go mad over it, because there's not... Gyökeres and Zubimendi are the only two that walk into the first team there, aren't they?
Oh, listen, I think...
Unless you think Eze's better than Martinelli on the left.
No, I think we need Eze for when we play low-block teams at the Emirates. We played both of them in there, him and Odegaard. And if Odegaard is stinking up the place, then... In you come, Eze, and you become the backup. That's how I see that happening. And I see the Gyökeres one. I'm going to be really honest. I think that's a game changer. I think that will excite me, because that's the thing that we lack.
That's the thing we all want more than anything.
Well, not only that, as fans want it, we need it.
Agreed.
What's the reason that Arsenal have not won the league over the last 3 years? There's probably loads of things you can say, but the thing that I look at and go is a proper centre forward, right? We've gone through. We're now. Where are we in now? July. We've gone 7 months. We're at this moment in time, Dan. Arsenal Football Club have gone 7 months without a striker. No, but it's true. We are now in the 7th month without a striker, because Havertz isn't a striker, is he? Or he wasn't signed as a striker. And, Mourinho was there. So basically we're in the 7th month of Arsenal Football Club without a striker. But here they are, people patting them on the back, saying, well done, Mikel, for signing a backup goalkeeper that we needed, a midfield player we needed, Why we needed all them? Because we let all the others go. The one thing that we need, the one thing that's going to change this football club's direction, is the striker. And it's not been done. Hey-ho, we'll see what that... We can't... If we go 8 months, and when people turn round to you and go, oh, it won't go on, that won't happen. These are the same people that were saying this in January, Dan. The same people were saying, don't worry, we'll get a striker. But you know why? Because we need one. We can't, you know what I mean? And there we was at Leicester, converting Mourinho into a centre forward. That is fans paying £500,000, £200,000 a year for a box at Arsenal at the Emirates. That's fans paying over £1,000 minimum for a season ticket at the Arsenal, right? To go through 9 months without a recognised striker. They actually had one on the bench in the youth team, never played for us. He's gone as well, by the way. So our forward line at the moment is Havertz, and he's coming back from a dodgy hamstring injury, and Marino. Now, if I go to Singapore and I see Marino running on the pitch up front, I'm going to British Airways and asking for a plane back home.
Oh, sorry for laughing, but I can't. I don't know what else to do, bruv.
But that is where we are. That's the reality of it at the moment.
Well, it is a reality at the moment. Big up to Curtis, by the way. Curtis Shaw TV. Make sure you subscribe. Big up to our guy Curtis, man. He's rated everybody over. There's well over 4,000 people watching.
Curtis, my man. Like,
a record, man. That is a new record for the channel, I think, Lee. 4,000 people. Yeah. That is unbelievable. Big up to everyone.
Getting nervous in front of all these people. Like,
I know, mate. I know. That is incredible, mate. That is incredible. But yeah, look, we've only got 629 likes. Let's get 1,000 likes on the video.
No, come, give us
1,000 likes. Come on, let's do it. Big up to Curtis every time, man. Let's do the following super chats. Try and get some of these. I understand people are unhappy.
Let me message him. I'm going to message him to say thank you for that.
Yeah, you do that. You do that. Shay are unhappy in this moment in time. I've got to be honest. There's a lot of people that are. Miles Smith, Madrid are out of the Club World Cup. Now we can approach Rodrigo. But Chelsea are in the final, and we wrap up a deal in a few days, all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, fair play. We got to go over to Real Madrid and get this Rodrigo done for me. What do you guys make of this club doing quick deals with Chelsea and only Chelsea? How Madueke went from 29 million in 2023 to 52 in 2025 is beyond me.
That is the incredible thing, isn't it? Like,
how is that happen when he ain't done much? He's coming at Chelsea. He's run around. He's cut through. He's taken a man on. That's it. Oh, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous. Chelsea laughing. We'll still finish above, though. Yeah, look, I still think we'll finish above Chelsea, but it don't stop them laughing and taking the mick and bantering us, does it? So, yeah, it's crazy. Idris, Dan, you even gave him shirt numbers. Sounded good. Look, I'll give Eze the 10. Give Rodrigo whatever number he wants to come in. And give Gyökeres the number 14. Let's go. I don't really care.
I don't want Gyökeres coming in with the number 14.
What do you want him to have then?
9.
Okay, that's fine.
Give Jesus a 14 if you have to, if you know what I mean. Like
number 9 at Arsenal. There's been some horrific ones, though, haven't there?
Well, like, you know what
Francis Jeffers and bloody what was his name? Baptista. It ain't really worked out for anyone, to be honest, as a number 9 shirt. I've got to be honest, Lacazette's probably the best in the Emirates era that we had at number 9. But there we go. Nicholas Jackson next. Everyone's laughing at that. I tell you what, don't laugh too loudly because it wouldn't surprise me with this club.
Vardy, I think, is more of an option.
Yeah, man. Look, in seriousness, I don't actually care what numbers people have on their back. As long as they come in, I could give a damn. But I think,
if you're going to get a proper number 9, give him the number 9. You know what I mean?
Jesus might not want to take the shirt off him, mate. But,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Factual Gooner says, too much of the fan base all talk, no action. They never actually hold the club accountable for these decisions. Willian, Havertz, Sterling, now Madueke. Why is it always, let's just back it? Bruv, I think you're great. I've got to be honest. Your super chat's my favourite of the day. I think you talk sense, my guy. I really do. Why do we have to just back it? Well, might as well get behind it now. What, like Sterling? If we get behind that one, how did that work out? Unbelievable. We got Mal Dixon who's saying, I just heard we linked with Jackson. Please be a rumour. I'm sorry. That can't happen. Jay says, fans praise Berta for paying over Zubamendi's release clause. Plus 50 on Noni over Nusa, Rafael Leao and Rodrigo. We know this means we won't sign a winger and a 10. Yeah, I've got to agree with that, if I'm honest. Arteta, it seems, didn't want to sign Gyökeres. Do you see him being petulant and continuing to start Havertz to prove a point? Please, no. Gyökeres comes in and he starts, mate. Facts, he has to. Alexander says, big up Dan and Lee. It seems the only way to become an Arsenal player is to underperform. I can get over this deal only if we sign Eze and Gyökeres. Big up, bro. Excuse me, so I've got indigestion now. Oh, dear. Arnold, he says, we needed to replace Sterling first. What a mess. Yeah, I know. I didn't expect Sterling to come back to Chelsea and we get another one of their next read. Just like a conveyor belt at Chelsea, innit? We give one back and we take another one. We take another two, in fact, this time. Kepa and... Oh, it's ridiculous. Arteta's done it again. Havertz 2.0. Says Silly. We got Sky, who says, Lee and Dan, hold the line. Don't get rubbish by Robbie and his yes men mentality. Lookman is 10 times better. That's a great shout, by the way. Why did we not go and get Lookman for 50 million? That's a great shout. I've got to be honest. That is a great shout. He's cooking in Europe. Hat-trick in the final of the Europa League. He's been brilliant for Atalanta. That would have been a good signing for me. Or even like Lee said, I would rather go and lump 50 mil on Semenyo than I would Madueke. He can play right and left, and I think he's been brilliant for Bournemouth. So there we go. Rodriguez says fans need to get the banners out and protest. It could turn to that if things get nasty and bad in the results, but I think we'll have to give that. Dan, do you know what the breakdown is on the fee? No, I don't. I know it's 50 with some add-ons, which is taking it over 50 to 52 as a package. I don't know if that means it's 45 with add-ons or 50 with add-ons. It's been reported as 50 with add-ons, but Romano suggested it's 52 in all. Shaitanya says, I'm at this point that all the best to Madueke. I hope he shines. Save us. The club probably doesn't listen to us fans. Well, they definitely don't listen to us fans. Let's be real. This deal is one American billionaire helping out another. I would not be surprised if there's something in this. I really would.
It's two-way street. When's he going to help us out then? Yeah, I mean, why do we keep helping him out?
Does he want Vieira for 50 million? I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Let's be real. We haven't got 1,000 likes yet, people. Let's get to 1,000. There's only 840 likes. We've got 4,000 people in here. So let's get just a quarter of you to hit the like button. That'd be amazing. I know there's a lot of Chelsea fans in here. If you could do us a favour, seeing as we've done you one, hit the like button for us, yeah? That'd be lovely. Big up to all of you. Then we can go to bed. Let me ask you this very quickly, Lee. Madueke better not be our starting left back this season, says Avnab. Do you think that he will be? Do you think Madueke's coming in as backup, or is he coming in to start at 52 million?
Listen, he'll start games, but he won't. You know what I mean?
No. Okay. No. I'm with you. I don't think he's going to be our left winger. I think he's coming in to be a backup rotated player. And I think Eze's coming in as well. And I think that'll be it. I think it'll be Eze, Madueke and Gyökeres now. Do you think that's what it is going to be?
Yeah, I do. And listen, I'll take that. I'll take that. On top of Zubimendi, the central defender from Valencia. I think they get that over the line as well. And obviously like Norgard as well. Listen, I'm going to be really honest. If that happens, Eze, Gyökeres, and what I've just said, I don't think it's an absolute blockbuster of a transfer window, but it's a good, solid 8.5 out of 10. Because we've got the striker. Come on, this is a striker that me and you both wanted at the end of the day.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? So, listen, I think there'll be a couple of selling players as well, like, you know what I mean? And, you know, we'll have to wait and see. And, you know, let's just see what happens with the striking situation. If we get the striker, then all things change. All things change. I'll tell you what someone was said. Like, I think Arsenal maybe could have even gone for someone like Bowen, and who can play down the centre forward as well. Like,
I'd have taken him, man. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League.
Could have got him for 70 million.
I think honestly, he's a better signing for me. He would have been a better signing for me than Kudus. I've got
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest.
because he can play in a couple of positions.
He
But at the
can
end of
play
the
in
day,
more
obviously, he's
positions.
West
Yeah,
Ham through and through. But this is the other thing. Like some players, you know what I mean, like would want to come and others don't. You know what I mean? And some don't want to come and sit on the bench, Dan. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you say about Lookman, oh, let's go and buy him. They might have spoken to Lookman and he said, look, I'm not really happy about coming as a Saka backup. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's hard to
of course. No, I
to
get that.
get
We
that.
don't know the ins and outs, but
Yeah.
I just there's a lot I don't like about this deal, and I ain't going to change my mind on that. Unless, of course, them three players come in. I will say that. Let's do these last few supers, then we can get out of here. Malib says, "Is this Nicholas Jackson rumor true?" I don't think so. I'm hearing loose rumours. I don't think so.
It's just like, you know what I
There's
mean? It's
no
just,
way that's going to happen as well. On top of this, Nicholas said, "How do we agree on deals so fast with Chelsea? It's sus." I totally agree. And Jay says, 50 million on a backup. I promise you, he's the left winger, by the way. Lee Gunner actually said that last night that he thinks he'll play left wing ahead of Martinelli or alongside Martinelli. And then the last one of the night we got is from Jimmy. Why is it anxiety every transfer window? They do it to us every year, making us wait, spending stupid money on silly players. Trossard looks like he's off to Fenerbahce, by the way, for £20 million ish. So he looks like he's on his way. So, look, it
well, that
sounded
was
really
always
like
going to happen, Dan.
one of them was going to go. One of them
He's
was going to
30
go.
years of age. He's been fantastic for us, but like, you know, that's a good move for him. It's a good move for us.
Well, there we go. Look, we're going to say goodbye. We're going to go raid Flawless because he's live at the moment. So go show him some love. Flawless has been great on this channel for us over the last season or so. So go show him some love. He's a good lad. And Lee, I'll let you say bye to everyone, bruv.
Yeah, thanks for coming today. Like, you know, over 4,000 in there. That is unbelievable. Like, you know, for a small little channel like us, that is unreal. Like, you know, and so thanks for everybody that's participated in this today. And listen, let's see what happens in the next couple of days. You know, I believe that Arsenal will make some signings. Calvert-Lewin is on the cards. Vardy is a good backup. And you never know. Victor could mean victory for the Arsenal. Have a good one, lads and lasses. We're out of here. Good night.